Music. It is something that can be found all around the world, across cultures, languages, connecting people through ideas and emotion. I'd be willing to bet that one way or another, you have been introduced to music at least once in your life, and it would make sense with how much of it exists everywhere. For myself, music is very important. I listen to a bunch of songs on my playlist in the same order nearly every single day, and it's a way for me to connect to my emotions and sort of channel them into my work, which is usually drawing or art related. It might not seem all that important. Many people prefer listening to music when concentrating or working. However, I want to talk about the effect music has on the creativity as a whole and how I can see the influence through my own art. The connection between music and visual art has been an interest of many people since the 1900s. From a distance, neither seem to be too related to one another besides being some form of art, though on a deeper scale, however, both are tied through concepts. Both music and visual art contain emphasis, patterns, rhythm, and balance, which in visual arts appears as the subject, brushstrokes, color, or shapes, and in music is the breaking down of and the building each vocal or instrument has on one another, each individual sound or tone. When it comes to the connection each has in your brain, music is essentially a source of energy and ideas for your mind while you're creating. When you hear the patterns and rhythm of a song, you are able to translate that movement or feeling onto a canvas. For example, if you're listening to an upbeat or energetic song, that emotion can be directly translated into a visual work, maybe through a chaotic scene, a style of brushstrokes, the movement of figures, objects, or shapes portrayed in a piece. Overall, it is a visual representation of the deep emotion music can make you feel. As a side note, this audio may or may not reveal what band I listen to most out of the recording. When I draw, I often have music playing in the background regardless of what I'm drawing, without any specific genre or tone generated by whatever it is. As an experiment, I decided to loop one particular song in the process of designing a character, the song titled Wake Up Hate off the Untouchables album by KoRn, using this track alone to inspire me and fuel the creation of this character, which is simply just named after the song. I used the chaotic energy to inspire both the pose and physical traits, with some subtle reference to the lyrics in the form of spikes, something which can be labeled as harmful or dangerous. The total drawing time of this piece was 2 hours and 34 minutes, which means I listened to the song about 50 times in a row. My overall process for drawing while listening to a song involves a few different factors, especially when I consider aspects for character design. It's almost like imagining the perfect theme song for a character you really like, but the other way around. I like to imagine what scene they would be in if the song was playing, thinking of the setting, mood, what kind of action would be occurring if it was a music video. This helps me come up with a good pose to represent the character before I come up with how it will eventually look. The details themselves are the most time-consuming part, and for them I try to create a visual representation of the lyrics, not an exact translation of them, word for word or anything, but loosely connecting shapes to emotion based off my own understanding of the song. This perspective shows my own creative process, the most in my opinion, being uniquely what I come up with given the context of the song. If someone else were to do the same, their design could end up completely different and also be uniquely theirs. Whether it's the drawing of a character, painting patterns on a canvas, building a three-dimensional artwork, or even writing, any creative outlet can be influenced by the music you listen to, and it's something I recommend trying at least once. It's a great way to find motivation or get yourself into a creative mindset if you struggle to do so, or if not, allow your brain to think creatively in a new way by channeling your ideas with a song. The connection that music and visual arts have can be very strong if given the chance to work together to create something new.